What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Professor Anime, and welcome back to another video. Today we will be discussing Little Witch Academia Episode 2. So, Little Witch Academia. This episode was mainly focusing on Akko's way of becoming a witch. Now, she doesn't really take it that seriously, to be honest. While she does really want to be a witch, we actually see her going through several classes in this episode on, basically going over all the fundamentals and alchemy that is involved with magic and how to use it properly. But she finds it very, very boring. You see her snoozing off in class, and even we had Susie actually trolling in this episode onto Akko by planting a plant on her head, in her hair, which I thought was very funny because, Susie, I can already see her possibly being one of my favorite characters within this series, just the way on how her personality is. She's very smart, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, she's a very comedic, sort of character in terms of, trolling Akko. She technically trolled Akko in the first episode of Little Witch Academia, and in this episode we actually see her planting a plant on her head. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but does Akko's other friend, I believe her name was... I forgot. Lotte, that was her name. She's the other friend of Akko with the blonde hair. Now, I don't know if it's just me, okay? But her character design, I probably should have mentioned this in my first impressions of, Lotte's character design in episode 1. But in this episode, as I looked more into her character and her character design, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe some of you will agree with me on this. But she looks a lot like Velma from Scooby-Doo. Besides the brown hair, of course. I don't know if it's just me, but I found that very hilarious when it popped in my head. I was like, hey, is that Velma? Is she gonna be the Velma of Little Witch Academia? Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Now, we get introduced to another character in this episode of Little Witch Academia, going by the name of Diana. Now, Diana is one of those characters that you will expect, from any forms of literature, even like from Harry Potter. You have this very, very popular sort of character that seems to be a prodigy at what she does. She, is very famous throughout the wizarding world, so to speak. And even the teachers look up to her and her abilities and skills. And she is really the sort of, preppy girl of the whole group. Now, apparently, she has her ways with magic. Her skills are, unmatched. We actually see a part of the episode in which Akko is trying to prove her wrong that she can definitely use magic, and she tries to use it on this statue, and the staff does not activate. I don't know what it is about the staff, but let's talk about that after this. But the staff was not activating, and then we eventually see the staff move. And apparently Akko's like, yo, what the heck is going on? And then the statue lifts her plant that Susie planted on her head, which was very funny. And then it kind of went back to its original, statue state. And apparently the one to cast that magic was actually Diana herself. So it wasn't Akko at all. So you can definitely see that Diana, is a lot more skilled than the other students of, the series of Little Witch Academia, at least from what we know of so far. Now, by the end of this episode, we happen to see that there is this sort of butterfly. We see Akko actually using these cards that she used to collect in these early childhood days of her discovering what it means to be a wizard, and these cards go over all of the sort of, magic and things that are involved in the wizarding world, quote unquote. Now, I don't know if these sort of cards that Akko has, if each card is going to play a role in the overall story, but we do see one of these cards actually be involved in this episode of Little Witch Academia, and it happens to be a butterfly. Now, apparently these sort of butterflies, I forget the exact name on how they described it, but it was like, I don't know, it started with a P, I know that. But apparently this butterfly emerges every 120 years. And we see it by the end of the this episode, into which Diana was actually trying to save this tree that it seemed like it was dying. And apparently, I think she ended up casting a spell, or she didn't cast a spell, and the tree started going like berserk. You know, all these roots were spreading out, and apparently these chrysalis were, you know, appearing on the tree. So Diana was trying to destroy these chrysalises because she thought that it was infecting the plant, and if these, you know, things would emerge onto the plant, it would, you know, slowly die out. So she was trying to kill off these things, and eventually we see Akko in the episode start to, you know, take the blow when it comes to the spell that Diana was shooting at the chrysalises. And apparently these cocoons were actually, you know, cocoons for the butterflies that apparently appear every 120 years. And eventually we see that she ends up using a spell that emerges the butterflies, and you see this magical moment into which these butterflies are taking off into the night sky, and, you know, Akko, Diana, Susie, and Lotte are looking at, you know, the horizon and seeing all these butterflies, you know, flying in the air. I thought that was a really, really good scene in Little Witch Academia. I gotta give props to Trigger on that scene alone, because that was a very magical moment. It really was. Now, regarding on how the staff activates, I don't know how exactly the staff activates. Now, we know that Akko is a commoner, okay? She does not have any magic skill whatsoever because she is, you know, not bred of any magical, you know, parents. Usually, these students are bred from, you know, either a magical mother or either a magical father, or maybe both. But Akko is just a regular human being. She has no magical skills whatsoever. But later down in this episode, we could probably see, obviously, that she has a hidden talent within her to actually cast magic as a regular human being. But at this moment given in time, the staff is only activating due to certain events that are playing a role in the series of Little Witch Academia. So, I'm very curious on how this staff activates. I don't know if it's only able to activate due to certain events, or if either there is in fact a little bit of magic within Akko, she just doesn't realize it, and eventually we see the staff activating. I really don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see later down the line of Little Witch Academia as to how that is going to go about. But yeah, this episode of Little Witch Academia was very, very good. It was very magical, and I'm really loving this series. I really am. This is probably going to be one of my favorites of the season so far, because it's just, I just love the animation, I like the characters, and it's very magical. And like I said in my previous episode review, it's just, it's kind of like a series that brings out the child in you, so to speak, and I really do like it a lot. So, with that said, let me know in the comments down below on what you guys thought about this episode of Little Witch Academia. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.